Hey guys, welcome to week 2, phase 1 of team training. If my voice sounds a little bit more obnoxious than usual, I apologize. I've been very sick for the past couple of days and I'm still getting over it. If you are not already on board with team training, there will be a link down in the description where you can get a 7-day free trial and kind of see what we're talking about in these videos and apply it in the gym. For those of you who signed up last week, thank you very much. This week is going to be essentially the exact same thing as you did last week. Hopefully, you had time to get in all your sessions. And really, the priority of the last week was to establish a baseline and a starting point that was submaximal and sustainable. So you may have gone a little bit too heavy last week. You may have gone a little bit too light last week, but that's okay because now we're going to repeat that week and we're going to build on that a little bit. So last week you may have gone a little bit over on the squat or deadlift and needed to lower the weight. Now you kind of know where the sweet spot is so that you can stay there during your working sets on your heavier compound lifts. Same idea with the runs. I had a couple guys message me saying that they over anticipated what they could do on the runs and they went out too hot and they either had to stop and take a break and lower the speed, or they had to drastically lower the speed down to basically barely above a walk so that they can continue for the remainder of the mile. So I think everybody overshot a little bit, which is very normal. It's perfectly natural and it's part of the learning process. But now hopefully this week you're going to settle into something that's challenging, whether it be on the lifts or the runs, but not so challenging that we can't continue to ride the momentum for the next couple of weeks, so that we can continue to add anywhere from 5 to 10 pounds to your lifts every week, or 1 to 2 reps to your smaller exercises, or knock 5 to 10 seconds off your run times. And that's all we're looking for here, is just 1% better each week. And as time goes on and the weights get heavier, and we do push closer to failure on the strength training, we'll be lowering the reps and lowering the volume in general so that we can continue to make that progress and ride that momentum, but still not go to failure too soon. And then in week 6, that's when we'll actually test and we'll push it pretty close to failure or to failure that week, depending on what level of strength you're at. And kind of the same idea with the run on week 6, we'll really push it to the limit then and retest your PR times. But we have to do the work and we have to build up to that point instead of just trying to run ourselves into a wall each week. And real quickly, I want to go through some questions that I got during the week from guys who are already signed up that I think are applicable to everybody, whether you're thinking about signing up or not, or whether you're just training in general. I got 2 questions about the deadlift saying, can I do a trap bar deadlift and can I do a sumo deadlift instead of a conventional? And I said, yes, absolutely. There's differences between a sumo trap bar and a conventional deadlift, but for right now, the priority is what deadlift are you comfortable with and what deadlift can you use moderately heavy weights with. And so if for whatever reason you're not comfortable with conventional and you want to stick with sumo or trap bar, that's fine. And over time, we'll hopefully be able to build up to the point where you can do conventional and trap bar and sumo and you're comfortable with all of them, so that we can expand the toolkit as much as possible and there's no really patterns of movement that we're nervous about or uncomfortable with. I got another question from Carl in Iowa. Shout out to Carl. And he asked, because he has a Planet Fitness membership, can I use dumbbells for these workouts instead of a barbell because I don't have a Smith machine or anything? And I said, yes, absolutely. The whole point is that we want you to go through the hip hinge pattern, the pressing pattern with the upper body, and the squat pattern movement. And we want you to load those so that you can get really strong through those ranges of motion. So whether you do a normal barbell back squat or a goblet squat, right now it's not really important to me. At some point, we might want to look at a different gym or something like that because it gets difficult to load, more than 100 pounds or something on a goblet squat, and we want to be able to put 200-300 pounds on the bar. But for now, dumbbells are absolutely acceptable. So whenever you guys feel like you can swap something out that applies a little bit more to you and makes your life and your schedule a little bit easier, go for it. The last question I got was regarding the runs. This gentleman said that day 1, his running felt fine, but day 2, the knee started to feel a little bit sensitive. There started to be a little bit of pain, and we did a little back and forth and talked about it, and come to find out he hasn't really run consistently in a year or so. And so I said running twice a week And squatting on top of that might be a little too much for the knees right now. So let's have you run once a week, then walk the other run for the remainder of the 6-week phase. And then once we start the next 6-week phase, you'll be a little bit more prepared to run twice a week because you gave your body time to recover and adapt to this new workload that you're expecting it to perform. But that's all I have for the team training, guys, for this week. If you haven't had a chance, please go to the description below, hit that link and get your 7-day free trial. If you like the Instagram content, if you like what I talk about on YouTube, apply it to your training. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.